Well, confession time. Last time I tested this carburetor, it was several hundred CFM down. And that didn't set right with me, nor did it set right with the owner of this carburetor. So I came back out to figure out what went wrong. What I done is I took string and I held the primaries wide open, another string to hold the secondaries wide open. But what I didn't realize is when I pulled that string as tight as I could get it, I closed down the throttle and restricted the airflow through this carburetor, and is why it was so bad. So I retested it. The numbers are way better, but I need to redo all these tests because I have my carburetor that I put on here for a base test to make sure that the bench is flowing correctly and that carburetor always flows the same CFM each time. So I need to do that, and then I need to put this one back on, and then I need to put the other two carburetors back on and get base numbers off of both of them. If you watch the video I did last time, we didn't test the venturis, and this time we're going to take my meter and hook up to it and see how much air is being pulled through the venturis of the three different carburetors. Here we go.
This carburetor will be our Constant. It's a 600 CFM double pumper that I did a little bit of modifications to. Here we go.
All right, we're going to call that 709, which is what we had before. I had to open the throttle slightly more because the string is stretched on me.
We've proven that our Constant is constant.
I'm going to turn the camera off so I don't bore you to death spending an hour. All right, I'm exaggerating. Spending a bunch of time trying to get both throttles exactly up, straight up and down with string. And then we'll do another test. Stay tuned. Okay, here we go. Epoxy modified carburetor retest. It's still very loud. Wow. I gotta find me a magic marker and add some more numbers to it. Alrighty, take two. 24, 31, 29, and 28. Next carburetor. Okay. Stock, I think. I don't think he's done any modifications to this. 650 center section and a stock 750 base. So 650, 750. Much more stable. Okay, now I just got to take the 650 highly modified base and put it on this center section, and we'll do one more test. All right, let's take a quick look at this. This is the 600 or 650, I'm not sure which one. This one, he's done all the highly modifications on it. So the first thing you notice is he's kind of like knife edged the throttle blades. He's ground down the buttons, and he's ground down the shafts. Nothing too crazy. There, maybe you can see it better that way. Nothing too crazy, but he's opened it up for it to breathe better. So now we'll find out how well the smaller 650 stacks up to the 750. Okay, same 650 center section and 600 or 650 base, but this is the highly modified one I just showed you. Here we go. Okay, well, I'll write this all up on a piece of paper so it's much more easier to read and understand. So there you go. The first test was wrong, but with the secondary set up correctly, this carb picked up almost 200 CFM. It flowed 650 with the throttle halfway closed, and after everything was set and correct and made sure all the throttle valves were right, it made 830 CFM. Now there's a slash here and it says 582. I can only flow at 10 inches, and then I have a computer program that calculates it up to what it should be at 20.4 inches. That is what 4-barrel carburetors are tested at. So this number is a calculated number, but is what it should flow in comparison to the 10 inches. So New Guy Garage, this is his carburetors, and this is the picture of the carburetor when I used my water gauge to test how much it was. So this is inches of water. I just abbreviated it here as inches of water, and I didn't tell you it all here. So let's go over this real quick. Obviously, I made almost 200 CFM when we got the throttle valves open. Actually, you can just look at this and figure it out from there. I don't need to go over it. But this is the 750 base on the 600 top, and this is the modified 650 base on the 650 top. So 724 CFM with the standard base and a 600 top. The modified 600 base went 710. The 600 base, which has smaller butterflies, almost float as much as the stock 750, which has much larger butterflies. So now we've got a real flow data and a real good look at what's happening inside the venturis, and that gives a much clearer picture of what's going on inside these carburetors. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will put the link down in the description and in the comments of Good Guy's Garage. You should go check him out, check out all the different stuff he's doing. I'm still I'm curious and waiting on his version of an annual discharge booster. It still needs a lot more work and engineering, but I can't wait to see that one. See ya.